Diamanda Gallis, hailed as one of the most exceptional singers of our time, once said, "I think God is a callous bitch not making me a lesbian. I'm deeply disappointed by my sexual interest in men." Hi, my name is Jenny, and I identify as a bisexual. How much do you really know about the history of the LGBTQ community? Do you know what we have endured and the history that we have made? Well, I would like to tell you. I'm going to attempt to educate you on the LGBTQ history and touch on some very recent events. I will be talking about symbols of gay pride and their meanings, marches and events, and recent political changes. The first symbol I will be talking about is the lambda. The lambda is a Greek symbol. It is the 11th letter in the Greek alphabet, and it is roughly translated as L. It is believed that it was used the first time in 1970 for the New York Gay Activist Alliance. www.lgbtical.org, the Association for Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Issues in Counseling of Alabama, last updated February 2015, states that no one really knows why this symbol was chosen. Some say the lambda stands for liberation, while others believe it was chosen because it is the symbol used in physics for energy. The rainbow flag. The flag consists of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Each color has its own meaning. Red is life, orange is healing, yellow is sunlight, green is nature, blue is serenity and harmony, and violet is spirit. According to the Huffington Post's article titled, "Look, 21 Things We Bet You Didn't Know About LGBT Pride," last updated June 2014, the flag used to consist of hot pink and turquoise. Hot pink stood for sexuality and turquoise for magic and art. Gilbert Baker, designer of the flag, dropped the hot pink due to unavailability of pink barrack, and to keep an even number of stripes, the turquoise was also dropped. The previously mentioned article in algbtical.org also states that the rainbow is a symbol of political movement. It plays a part in many myths and stories related to gender and sexuality in many cultures. Use of the rainbow flag by the gay community began in 1978, when it first appeared in the San Francisco Gay and Lesbian Freedom Day Parade. Other symbols include inverted triangles to remind us of the tragedies of World War II, gender symbols, 2 interlocking male symbols instead of a male and a female, and equal signs for the obvious reason of our desire for equality in this society. Moving on to marches and events held to encourage inclusion and fight back against abuse. The Stonewall Riots. In the late 1960s, homosexual sex was illegal in all states except Illinois. There were also statutes in place preventing the sale of alcohol to homosexuals. Stonewall Inn, a gay bar owned and operated by the Mafia, was a popular gay bar in Greenwich Village, in the Greenwich Village section of New York. Early morning, June 28, 1969, police raided the Stonewall Inn. A PBS.org article under American Experience, titled Introduction, Stonewall Uprising, provides an overview of a documentary aired April 2011. The article says the street erupted into violent protests and demonstrations that lasted for the next 6 days. They became known as the Stonewall Riots and were marked a major turning point in the modern gay civil rights movement around the world. The Stonewall was a dive, but it was one of the very few places a gay man or woman could go and be themselves. Breaking the law against homosexual sex was punishable by a fine, 20 years in prison, or a life sentence. The Christopher Street West. The Castro.net, the Gay Parades of the 70s, article last updated July 2008, talks about a march and a rally held at City Hall on June 27, 1970. A gay-in was held at the Speedway Meadows in Golden Gate Park the next day. It was called Christopher Street Liberation Day. The events were held as a celebration of the first anniversary of the Stonewall Riots. According to the previously mentioned article, the first organized San Francisco gay parade occurred in June of 1972. It was titled Christopher Street West. There was little to no press coverage, but in 5 years, the parade grew to become the largest social or political event in San Francisco history. The parade, held in 1977, had approximately 350,000 participants. Lesbians and gays support the miners, LGSM. On March 21, 1984, the British government announced the closure of Cortonwood Pit, a South Yorkshire coal mine. On March 6th, plans were released to close 20 pits with a loss of 20,000 jobs. According to LGBTHistoryMonth.org.uk, article Lesbians and Gays Support the Miners in Their Protests for Coal Not Dole, posted February 2014. On March 12th, half of UK's 187,000 miners came out on strike. This strike had no ballot, which meant there was no income or benefits. An impromptu collection began for the miners at the 1984 Gay Pride March. The gay community helped the miners and their families survive the strike. According to the previously mentioned article in LGBTHistoryMonth.org.uk, their work raised a total of €20,000, with their largest fundraiser being titled Pits and Perverts, which alone raised €5,000. South Wales miner David Donovan was quoted saying, "You know what harassment means, as we do. We will pin your badge on us. We will support you. It won't change overnight, but now 140,000 miners know that there are other causes and other problems, and we will never be the same." Within the past several years, there have been many political events that have changed our history. For those of you who do not know, Don't Ask, Don't Tell banned any LGBTQ members serving in the U.S. military of making their sexuality known to any other soldier. On September 20, 2011, the ban was lifted by President Barack Obama. At the Pentagon on Tuesday, June 26, 2012, Captain Matthew Phelps said, "I happen to be gay, but more importantly, I'm a Marine." In the Washington Times article by Rowan Scarborough titled "Pentagon Holds Its First Gay Pride Event," Captain Phelps talks about growing distant from his unit while deployed in Iraq. He could not talk about his family or back home. The article talks about many officials who stated that the lifting of the ban went over smoothly and that gay and lesbian, current and former service members, serve and defend the nation, subject to the same rules as everyone else. According to freedomtomarry.org, last updated February 6, 2015, 37 states have legalized same-sex marriage. We as a community are very excited about the progress we've made and the progress that we are going to make in the future. To summarize, I've covered symbols of gay pride and their meanings, marches and events held to encourage inclusion, and recent political events. Thank you for taking the time to hear my history lesson. I truly hope that everyone who watches this video learns a little bit more about the LGBTQ community.